Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Vince Russo. We're going to do a little nitty gritty dirt review with the dirtysheets.com. Billy Botti. Before we say anything, let me tell you, this show is sponsored by Broasters Coffee, bro. That's right. I am on this coffee. This is a great brand of coffee. You can order it. You can have it. The best I've ever tasted. Just go to the Broasters, BROASTERS.com. The Broasters. Billy, you a big coffee drinker over there in the UK?
I try to be for my irritable bowel syndrome. So I'm encouraged to, but I try. Yeah, if there's something decent tasting, then I'll give it a try. Yeah.
Billy, let's talk a little bit about this irritable bowel system. I love coffee. I love the taste of coffee, but one of the reasons I got to drink coffee every morning is the fact that it goes right through me. I drink the coffee. I maybe have 2 cups, then I'm able to go do my business. But if you have irritable bowel syndrome, that means on the other end, it's kind of like exploding, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's more of an issue in terms of not going for days and then bloating out and then going all at once. But I'd rather have a more regulated system than that. So that's one of the problems I have. I also suffer from acid reflux. So sometimes over the last few years, certain foods will get stuck in my throat because the acidity rises. But because of my age, I'm very stubborn in terms of there's a medication that I don't want to take every day because I think I'm too young to take a medication every day. So sometimes I don't get on my acid medication, and it causes the acid to rise up too high.
Man, Billy, I got to tell you, bro. I mean, you say you're not taking medication for that, but bro, that sounds like it could get painful.
No, it doesn't get painful. It just basically you can taste the acid in your throat, and food will get stuck and stuff, and then it's just time to hit the medication for a week.
So, Billy, is that why a lot of people have been saying all these years that you're full of shit? You like that, huh, Billy? You like that little joke there I made, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, I think they say it just basically. I don't think they actually say it because of the news. I think the claims that I make in terms of having the news first or being more accurate, and I think a lot of people, when they first come across me and they hear this and that, the immediate thing to turn around and say is, he's full of shit because Meltzer said something contrary to what he said. Well, look what happened to Disco, because he turned around and said, I didn't hear it reported here, and I didn't hear it reported there, and I didn't hear it reported here. But we've come on here now for around about 3 months and reported everything first, including last week, a very specific time-stamped clip. And I did that for a reason, because I knew the news about SummerSlam was going to be so big that they wouldn't sit on it. And on the show, I had to say, it's Thursday, it's this time. The WWE at the moment are going to the Amway Center with virtual fans. And we broke that here on the show. But it's important for me to timestamp that to let people know that where they can look back and see that was the first person to say it, which I was.
And that's what's happening.
Oh, yeah, that's what's happening. Yeah, like we said it last week.
You want to hear something funny, bro? I swear to God, this is so funny. And guys, this is why this is the truth. Listen, guys, listen. There is a very fine line between being cocky and being confident. Very fine line. Billy is a confident person. A lot of people have issues with confident people because I've been called arrogant and this and that. No, bro, I'm confident. Billy, here's the funny thing. Stevie Richards and Ben Hameen, they run my YouTube channel. So they wanted to take your clip from the show. So Stevie texts me and said, Vince, I don't know if I want to run this clip because, everybody's saying is reporting it's going to be somewhere else. It's going to be somewhere else. I don't know if I want to run this clip and this clip will be wrong, this, that, and the other thing. And I said, Stevie, trust me, run the clip. And you had it, bro. I mean, you had it dead on.
It was fun. I almost actually gave that away for free on YouTube because if you remember, I got the text when we were going on and you said to me, we're live on Twitch right now. And I was like, okay, I'll save it for the other side. But I actually got the message bang live while we're doing the show. So if people go back and watch.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember. Yep.
And that was it. And I said to you, I said, Vince, they're now going to the Amway Center with virtual fans, and they're doing the whole NBA setup. But from what I'm understanding, it's a little bit more advanced than that. The funny thing with it is, as I reported in my story, is that Vince knocked all of these options back at the time because he was the one that underestimated the entire pandemic and didn't think it would take that long and didn't want to make this investment in all of these things that were available, including a meeting that they held with a company called Oculus in terms of at least having people home audience feel like there's a crowd there. So they've gone with the alternative of a virtual crowd. But at one point, they were looking into the Oculus option, which was just for you at home to feel like there's a crowd around you. So you wear the Oculus headwear. But I think they've made a better decision in the long run, because I think the exclusivity from that would have eliminated a lot of people, because it would have involved either having to buy an Oculus or having to buy PlayStation VR or any one of these virtual reality headsets, which would have isolated a large portion of your audience. This is definitely the better way to go to copy the NBA model.
Billy, I'm confused, though. I'm really confused. And, bro, listen, don't get me wrong. I don't research this stuff and pay attention to it. I just kind of read headlines and stuff like that because, quite honestly, I don't give a shit what they do.
You researched who Nick Khan was last week. Did you go away? Did you talk about Nick Khan on any of your other shows last week? Because we can talk about that name now, Nick Khan.
Yeah, I believe we did. I believe, I brought up all your information, bro. But before we get to that, Billy, I'm really, what is this Thunderdome concept? Can you shed some light on this for me? Listen, let me just make one thing perfectly clear. Whatever it is, bro, it's not enticing me one iota to watch this show. Like, I am just very confused of what this is supposed to be. And, bro, you know, when you say Thunderdome, and, bro, Vince is so out of touch with everything. I guarantee you he didn't know Thunderdome was a movie. He didn't know it was related to Mad Max. He doesn't know who Mad Max is. He may not know who Mel Gibson is. He might know who Tina Turner is because she kind of goes back to the 60s. But, like, when I hear Thunderdome, bro, I think of Mad Max. Like, that's what I think about immediately. What is this, Billy? I don't even know what it is.
Thunderdrome or Thunderdome? I think
whatever they're doing, Thunderdome. What are they doing, bro? I'm just confused by it.
It's the NBA thing, Vince. It's a lot of screens coming in. Fans need to register to be a part of the crowd. From my understanding, is they're going to take up to 10,000 applicants, and they're going to rotate so it's going to allow people to get up, go to the toilet, whatever, and they'll make sure that there's faces on the entire time. So that's going to be the first part of it. The parts that I don't understand, which we've not seen in the NBA, are the lasers and the drones and the drone cameras and all that they've integrated in. But Kevin Dunn is largely a part of that, and he's the one that's spoken out about how it's going to be a brand new viewing experience. Now, of course, WWE didn't create this. This has been something that's been pitched to them, and it's been on the table. And this is a story that I reported way back, because there's a company that approached them in May that gave them the options to do this and to go down the Oculus route, which was cheaper. And WWE said no to both. We'll outlast this pandemic. We'll be fine by SummerSlam. We're not even canceling Boston, which they didn't. And they ended up having to bite the bullet. And they've now done 3 or 4 pay-per-views in the PC, which they hate. They've hated all the television they've done. They've hated all of the pay-per-views that they've done. And now they've gone to this, and all of a sudden they paid out the money, and Vince is apparently a much happier guy to be around. But there's still teething problems. There's still issues that I'm hearing about, which I'll talk about on the you know what? It's not a big story, so I'll talk about it now. I can give you something for free here. There's a bit of a dispute immediately with Kevin Dunn and some of the creative team about this week's SmackDown, because Kevin Dunn and Vince McMahon, and it's very interesting what you said, which is why I'm bringing this up now, they genuinely believe there is a high curiosity, and everybody that's involved in sports and how sports is being laid out, and anybody who was a fan will come back to the show this Friday. They are expecting a massive spike, especially based on curiosity. So in order to make this as clean as possible, because they're expecting these sponsors and bigwigs to be watching in, they don't want to shoot the retribution angle this Friday because they feel like there won't be people that understand it. So Kevin Dunn wants no interference from Retribution on Friday's show. Now, this doesn't include them running down to the ring, beating people up backstage, but he doesn't want any of the technology flaws because the WWE think that this isn't, or he thinks this is an advertisement for what a technological breakthrough they've made and how revolutionary they are. And they feel that the Retribution angle will confuse people tuning in for the first time. But off the back of what you said, they probably are overestimating the number that they're going to pull.
Why are they thinking that? I don't understand. Why did they think all these people are going to tune in because the presentation is going to be different?
They think the rating has dropped because of the presentation. They have taken zero responsibility for, from what I'm hearing, there's zero responsibility for the writing, the creative, and the way the talent have been portrayed.
Well, that's Bruce. That's Bruce selling his goods. You know, it's never Bruce's fault. It's everybody else's fault but Bruce. But I could hear Bruce in the back of my mind now. Billy,
well, I reported last week, if you remember, I said that that Kevin Dunn has been brought in the last few weeks to be a much bigger factor, and this now is where it's all headed to, because this has to be a Dunn Pritchard production, because they can't do this without Kevin Dunn. Because if you're looking at where people need to be for certain spots and using these drone cams, then Kevin Dunn needs to know every single minute of the show in order to shoot this right. And that's why he's been involved in the creative.
Are they thinking we've not seen the use of drones on tele? I mean, Jeremy Borash was using drones back in TNA when he was doing the Hardy Complex stuff. I mean, do they think we've not seen what they're going to show overhead shots? Do they think we've not seen that?
I think that they feel that the combination of what they're going to do in terms of creating this distraction away from what's actually in the ring is going to overwhelm people. It's obviously, again, it's hype. It's overestimated. The only positive thing that I will say about it is the applications to be in the crowd were done after an hour. I mean, I actually tried for Austin to get him in because we're going to stay up at SummerSlam, but we couldn't get on. So they have done well in terms of that, but that doesn't mean anything because that was all.
I got to tell you this, man. I've watched a lot of baseball since the season came back on. Bro, it has not affected me one iota that there are no fans. I'm watching the game. I'm interested in the game. The fans have no bearing. Bro, I watched the NBA for the first time yesterday. Last night I was up and it was the Lakers in Portland. And they have that virtual crowd, and I'm like, bro, first of all, I thought it was stupid. It wouldn't have mattered to me if the stands were empty. I'm watching the game. But, I mean, that look was not impressive to me at all. I can't imagine people tuning in because there's a virtual crowd. I can't imagine that.
That's the thing. Then you are on a different wavelength to the people that run that company at the moment, because they have told their shareholders. Vince McMahon sat in a very important meeting 3 weeks ago and said, it's all down to this. It's all down to this. And once we resolve this issue, which they think that they will do this Friday, that people will come back to the product in droves. And they're especially expecting, as I said, they're not just expecting a fan hike. They're expecting very much this industry hike. And in terms of, they want people to go away on Saturday morning and write about how revolutionary WWE are and what they did the previous night. That's really what they're looking for. So it's not so much about the rating, although they are expecting the fans to come back. It's this advertisement as to how revolutionary they are and the publicity that they want to get from that in terms of what they've managed to produce.
If they think revolutionizing it is virtual fans, that is already being done. And drones, I mean, bro, drones have been a part of television for the last freaking 3 years, bro. Like, so whatever. But Billy, this is your time of year, bro, because SummerSlam, regardless of virtual fans, drones, whatever, there's going to be betting going down, bro. Let people know, bro, this is not, DirtySheets.com is kind of a hobby for Billy, and Billy does it because he gets a kick out of making the Meltzes of the world wrong. Hold on for a second, Billy. Wait a minute. I think Dave's calling in. Oh, geez. Should I take his call, Billy? It's Meltzer.
Oh.
Take the call. All right. Hold on. Dave?
When Vince panics, we see giants.
Okay. All right. Billy does dirtysheets.com kind of as a hobby just to prove everybody wrong, bro, which I think is hysterical. His real bread and butter is the betting site. Let's hear about that, because now SummerSlam, Billy, maybe you can make people some money, bro. You got the inside scoops.
Yeah, so there's two ways to get SummerSlam picks. Lockbetting.com is my main site. That's my main source of income. I work on another podcast called the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, and I also and a umbrella under the umbrella of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. I'm on another podcast called the Soccer Gambling Podcast, which is brand new. So the story behind that is the Sports Gambling Podcast introduced soccer hesitantly when it started to first take off in the US. We've ended up getting a lot more listeners because I've been quite profitable there. And now I've got my own feed called the Soccer Gambling Podcast. Off the back of that, I have Lock Betting, which is my website, lockbetting.com. And there we sell additional picks and podcasts. So if you go and have a look at lockbetting.com, you can see what package you want. All sports, which will include WWE, UFC, NBA, MLB, KBO, soccer, will be the top package. So it'll be $125 a month. But last month we made £7,555. It's my pinned tweet on my gambling Twitter, which is @SGPEPL. But I know some of you wrestling fans are not sports guys. So at thedirtysheets.com, which is right here, we have a package for UFC and boxing and WWE. It's a combat pack, and it's just $40 a month. And with that, you'll get UFC, you'll get boxing, and you'll get this weekend SummerSlam. So if you're not interested in soccer, making money in soccer, NBA, KBO, then just head over to thedirtysheets.com and you can get your SummerSlam package there. What I also wanted to do...
Hold on, Bill. Let me get this right. You said it's $40 and you get all that. I mean, bro, you could win one bet and quadruple that $40, bro.
Yeah, that's what we'll be looking to do. And over the other side of this channel today, for the first time, because it is SummerSlam week, and I know your interest in SummerSlam may not be that high, but it may be heightened by the option to gamble. So me and Vince on the other side, we're going to run through some of the matches, and I'm going to talk about some of the information I've got, and I'm going to give you a tutorial in terms of how gambling works, because some people don't even understand the odds. So I'll look at one match here for this weekend. Bray Wyatt is at 1-3 and Braun Strowman is at 2-1. What that means is if you put 300 on Bray, you'll only get 100 profit. So he's 1, 2, 3. So the last number is what you need to put on to win the first number. So you'll end up with $400 from your 300. If you go with Braun and you put 100 on him, you'll end up with 200 profits. You'll end up with 300 altogether. So Braun is the underdog in this equation. So that's pretty much how it works. So I'll be running through these odds on the other side, and I'll be picking out some stuff for free that obviously I can't give you the entire card because A, I don't know it yet because they are really messing around with trying to get to payback, and B, obviously there would be no reason to subscribe to my site if we talked about every result. But
do you know the odds? I mean, this isn't giving us anything away. Do you know the odds for Orton and Drew? Do you know the odds for that?
Yeah.
Could you give us that? I mean, it's just...
Yeah, Randy Orton is the 4-6 favorite to win this match. So what that means is if you put $60 on Orton, you can make a $40 profit. So you'll win 100 altogether from your 60. Drew is at 6-5, which means that, it's changed. No, it is 6-5. So you put 50 on Drew and you can make a $60 profit. So 50 altogether will end up with you getting 110.
Interesting, man. That is really interesting. If you guys are real, man, if you're a real wrestling fan, Billy had a great point there. He had a great point there. Guys, because I do play fantasy baseball, I am interested in other games and I'm interested in other teams. Every year, the NFL, bro, I go through Glenn. I go through Glenn's bookie with the playoff games because, quite frankly, I don't care who wins. So I have no interest in the game whatsoever unless I got a bet on the game. It's the same thing here with SummerSlam. So you guys that, your Tuesday morning bookers, You think you know wrestling, you think you know booking, you think you know who's going to go over. This is the opportunity to literally cash in on that and make money. On the other side of the coin, like Billy said, somebody like me, bro, you're really not interested in SummerSlam, but I got $100 on Drew. Well, now I'm interested in SummerSlam. So, guys, this is an opportunity to get in on this. Lockbets.com or lock betting.
So lockbetting.com if you want all the sports. But
Okay.
if you're not a sports guy, or you could just try here. If you just want to put the $40 down, you can try this weekend and see how the results are. So, but we'll talk about it on the other side. We'll run through the odds. Me and Vince will give predictions out. We'll have some fun with Vince trying to predict these matches. I know you're not particularly enthralled about SummerSlam, but it might be fun to pick the card. There's also NXT odds as well, which is available, and I have some interesting news as well in regards to how they might book these shows from some information I've had. But we'll talk about that all on the other side.
Billy, I'm curious. Do you dabble? Will you bet some money on SummerSlam?
Oh, I cannot bet on wrestling anymore because I'm banned. So all of my accounts are frozen from wrestling.
Really? Holy, because you were winning too much money.
That's how this business started. Unbelievably, when lock betting started at the beginning, I was frozen out from wrestling bets, and then I came up with the idea to supplement that income by selling the picks instead. Otherwise, I wouldn't, because I could continue to just do this myself. So there is a guy over in Vegas, the guy who gives me the information. As I've said, I've told my story many times. One of the main reasons I get this information about what's going on in the WWE is because I have a friend who also works on the SGP. He does a different sport. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but he lives in Vegas, and I introduced him to the WWE guys, and he helps them get their action on, and he helps me get my action on as well, because I can't bet in the United Kingdom anymore because every book has banned me. So, yeah.
Well, guys, this is an opportunity, man. If you hop over to our Patreon show, patreon.com/Russo TWC, bro, this is an opportunity to make some money this weekend. If you still enjoy wrestling, that's great, bro. You can watch the show, but you could also make a couple of bucks, bro, courtesy of lockbetting.com. Betting or bets?
Lock betting.
Lock betting, LOCK betting.com. And if you just want the combat package, which is UFC, which is WWE, DirtySheets.com. Guys, come over there, bro. Join us. Patreon.com/Russo TWC. Starts at $3, bro. For that $3 investment and Billy's $40 investment, bro, you can make that. You can quadruple your money easily in one day.
The other thing is here on the DirtySheets.com, there's no betting in there, but there's a $5 package, and all of the news we talk about goes on there first. So when we talked about Seth Rollins taking a break, we talked about Nick Khan, which was a really big story. Everybody will point to the fact where I got a lot of messages saying, you got the SummerSlam story first, and I saw a lot of guys trolling the Dirt Sheets and saying, you steal from Billy Barty, and the Dirty Sheets had this first. But I seriously think that the Nick Khan story was much bigger because it affects the entire future of the company. But obviously, it's nice. I got all the credit for SummerSlam. I had that story first. We talked about the Amway Center, but we talked about a lot of stuff, and we'll do that again this week. We're not just going to keep it to some sort of advertisement from my site. We are going to talk about some news on the other side as well. There's stuff about Dunn, there's stuff about Pritchard, real petty shit that I want to talk about on the other side.
Wait a minute, Billy. You're not going to sit there and tell me there's petty shit going on in wrestling, are you, bro?
I think Bruce maybe I don't know if Bruce was born petty or whether he just knew Vince from too young, or whether Vince McMahon is like a second dad to him. Because I believe he was when he was 24 or 23. Is that correct?
Yes, very young. Very, very young. Well, guys, we will talk about all that on the other side. Patreon.com/. Also, bro, tell them about Austin's Instagram, bro. Let's not forget Austin, man.
Yeah, he's here. We're at my brother's house. And
Austin, what's up, man?
Hi.
So this week's piece of merch you're going to really like because it actually belongs to my brother, and it's the only thing my brother has. But Austin's going to show you right now. once I get out.
That's a belt case. That's a belt case, bro. What's up, Austin? How's your foot?
Good. I played football today.
Did it hurt?
Nah.
Oh, good, man. Good. I'm glad to see you healthy.
Yeah, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, you show that to me.
But let me thank real quick. Let me thank All Chemist Bear with a $5 donation. Thank you, All Chemists. Very much appreciated. All right, Austin, what are we looking at here, bro? That's the belt everybody likes.
Yeah. So show the signatures.
What is there any signatures?
Yeah. So let me.
Bret Hart.
Oh, nice. Hulk Hogan. Is that Hogan?
That's Hogan.
Hogan and Brett.
Who's that?
Wait, let me see if I can make that. Oh, that's Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
Nice.
Stand here. Put it on. Get in the shot.
Now, bro, that's the belt everybody loves. They call that the wing belt or something, right?
Yeah. That's the belt. I've got one. I have a blue one of those signed by Ultimate Warrior.
Oh, that is awesome. Look at bro, Austin looks like a champion. Look at the young lad. Austin, tell everybody about Austin's Toys, bro. What's going on over there?
It's my Instagram that I do videos and photos of wrestlers and other stuff.
Are you back doing it full time now? Because I know you took a little while off. Are you back in the swing of things?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. And your foot's better?
Yeah, if it's fine.
Man, bro, that thing healed quick. That was quick, wasn't it?
That healed 2 weeks earlier than it was supposed to. He says it. He says it's healed, but we're trying to be careful with it. But he doesn't want to wear the foot support, anything. He's just going straight in.
Oh my gosh, bro, you got to be careful. If somebody steps on your foot, it might not be a pleasant experience.
They did.
And did it hurt?
No.
Oh my gosh. Austin's a man's man already at his age. All right, everybody, listen, hop over to patreon.com/Russo TWC. We are going to talk about the skinny. We are going to talk about the news for myself, the great Billy Body, and the great Austin at Austin Toys. We will see you on Patreon.